Hi artful friends! Today I am going to show you how to make a very quick and simple bow tie. I am doing this one just a little small because I'm doing it for Shizuo Heiwajima from Durarara, but you can really size this to be any size you want. You're going to need some fabric in the color of your choice and a small amount of fusible interfacing. I say the fusible kind because it's just a little bit stiffer. It's got some strength to it. This is going to be how stiff your bow tie comes out, so pick your interfacing based on that. I start out with a piece of fabric about 1/4 inch to 1 inch bigger than what I want the overall bow tie to come out. This is going to be my lengthwise, so I want my bow tie to be about 4.5 inches long, so I got 5 inches. And I want it to be about 3 inches tall, so I went with 7 here. So you're going to cut that out. You're going to fold it in half. And again, this is going to be the bottom edge of your bow tie. So this part, and then this is going to be the height of your bow tie. Fold it over an exact half. And take your fusible interfacing, which should be about half the size of your square piece, and put it on the outside. If your fabric has a pattern, it should be facing inside. This will be the front of your tie. The pretty part should be facing each other, right sides together. So once you have that, pin your corners for stitching. I like to go all 4 corners at an angle. Then on the side that's not folded, so the side that has this open little flappy bit here, take 2 pins, give yourself about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more, because this is going to be where you're going to turn this right side in after you've sewn. If your bow tie is a little bit bigger, you might want to add a couple more pins just for stability. Here and here. Now I'm going to run a line of stitch. Just a straight line in the sewing machine. You can hand stitch this, but I recommend doing your stitches really tight if you do. All the way around, making sure I catch the interfacing inside of all of the stitching, leaving only this part right here open. So when I am stitching this, I'm going to take it about 1/4 inch in from the edge of my interfacing. That way I make sure I get all of that interfacing stitched in. Make my corners as sharp as possible when I'm stitching these too. It makes nice pointed corners for your bow tie. And here we have the completed stitching. Next, I remove all of the pins. We're going to trim some of this excess off because it's just a bit longer than it needs to be. I tend to kind of clip my corners because that also helps when I flip it right side in. So there it is with all of the edges trimmed. Now you have to take that hole you left yourself earlier and completely flip your bow tie inside out, which can take a little time and effort. Sometimes if that hole is a little bit small, I like to use a pencil to kind of push that through and help me out. I'll also take a pencil and kind of push my corners out really far. That way they're nice and pointed. So there you have your finished and flipped square. And as you can see, once we get a middle for it, that is going to become quite the little bow tie shape. So let's make a middle. Take more of your fabric of choice. And this part is just really, really simple. You don't have to make it with any kind of interfacing. Just a small little square of your fabric. Fold it over twice, and this is going to be your middle bit here. So just fold it over so that the raw ends are hidden. Give it a couple of pins. And this, we are just going to stitch 2 lines into, one here and one here. So I have run 2 lines of stitch, one there and one right along here, and that has made a nice single ribbon of fabric that is going to tie my middle together here. Now since this is a little bit open still, I'm going to take and do a quick hand stitch to seal that up so I don't have any of that interfacing poking out. But if the hole you made is small enough, your centerpiece can actually cover it up. So I've stitched this closed, and now we are going to do what in grade school are referred to as an accordion fold to make the crinkle bit in the middle of the tie. Now, the only thing you really need to make sure is that your first fold is facing the back side of the tie. So fold that in. Fold it over as many times, just depending on how you like your bow tie to look. And make sure your last fold also faces the back side of the tie, because that makes it have that nice curve to the edges here. So you folded all that. You take your middle piece that you made and you wrap that around a time or two, depending on how much middle piece you have. Make sure it ends at the back. You take in how that looks, adjust it if you need to, and then you're going to just hand stitch this part back here back together. And this is not going to be visible, so you can do pretty much any kind of stitch back here, anything that holds it into place. Make sure you stitch it pretty well, because this is going to be holding some tension. And there you have a finished bow tie. You can affix the back part of this to a safety pin or a ribbon or a clip of any sort that you want to use to attach the bow tie to your cosplay. But there you have the finished bow portion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and great cosplay adventures.